Have you noticed something strange? We live in an age where advice has never been abundant, yet clarity has never been more scarce. Every day, someone tells us to wake up at 5 a.m., someone else tells us to meditate for 20 minutes. Another expert insists on journaling, cold showers, gratitude lists, affirmation, breath work, digital detoxes, fitness challenges, reading goals, and productivity systems. And somewhere in the middle of all that advice, many people end up feeling exhausted before they even begin. The problem isn't that we lack ambition. The problem is that we are trying to improve everything at once. We are drowning in self improvement while starving for simplicity. And what if the secret isn't adding more? What if the secret is identifying the few things that matter most? Because when you study people who are productive, healthy, emotionally resilient, and genuinely fulfilled, you begin to notice something fascinating. They don't necessarily have more discipline. They often have better routines. Not dozens of them, just a handful. Today, I want to share 6 routines that can quietly transform your life. 6 routines that create structure without rigidity, growth without burnout, progress without overwhelm. And if you stay until the end, you'll discover why the final routine may be the one that makes all the others possible. Let's begin. The first routine is your morning routine. Most people think a morning routine is about productivity. It is not. It's about emotional direction. Imagine two people waking up at the same time. The first person immediately grabs their phone. Within 5 minutes, they have seen bad news, work emails, social media arguments, and someone else's highlight reel. Before they have even left their bed, the world has already taken control of their attention. The second person drinks water, steps outside for sunlight, stretches for a few minutes, and spends a moment deciding how they want to show up that day. Same morning, different mental state. Psychologists often talk about priming, the idea that early experiences influence everything that follows. Your first hour isn't about another hour, it's the emotional blueprint for the day ahead. This doesn't require a complicated routine. Drink water, get sunlight, move your body, avoid your phone, set one intention. That's enough. Because a powerful morning isn't about doing more, it's about beginning deliberately. And that brings us to the second routine, your learning routine. Here's the truth many people overlook. The person you become depends largely on the information you repeatedly consume. We often imagine life changing growth happening in dramatic moments, but growth is usually much quieter than that. It's 20 pages of a book, a podcast during a commute, an audiobook while cooking dinner, 30 minutes of learning repeatedly for years. Think about it. If you learned for just half an hour every day, how different would your knowledge be after 5 years? How different would your confidence be? Your opportunities, your income, your conversations. Most people underestimate the power of accumulation. They overestimate what can happen in a week and underestimate what can happen in 5 years. A single drop of water seems insignificant, but enough drops can carve through stone. Your mind works the same way. Protect a small portion of every day for learning because stagnation rarely announces itself. It arrives quietly. One day you realize you are living on outdated ideas while the world has moved forward. And speaking of moving forward, let's talk about how we actually spend most of our day. Routine number three is your work routine. We are living in an economy where attention has become one of the most valuable resources on earth. Every notification wants it. Every platform wants it. Every advertisement wants it. And many people are trying to do important work while being interrupted every few minutes. Research consistently shows that multitasking is largely a myth. What we are really doing is task switching. And every switch comes with a cost. Imagine trying to read a book while someone taps your shoulder every 3 minutes. That's how many people work. The most productive people aren't necessarily working longer, they are working deeper. They create focused periods where their attention belongs entirely to one task. No notifications, no endless checking, no constant switching. Every 90 minutes of uninterrupted focus can produce more meaningful work than an entire day of distracted effort. The goal isn't to manage your time, it's to manage your attention. Because where attention goes, results follow. But there's something even more important than productivity, and that's the routine most people neglect until it's too late: their health. Routine number four is your health routine. Many people treat health as if it's a separate category of life, something to focus on after they have achieved everything else. But health isn't separate from your goals, it's the foundation beneath them. Think about it. How productive are you when you are exhausted? How patient are you when you are sleep deprived? How focused are you when your energy is constantly crashed? Poor health affects everything: your mood, your decisions, your relationships, your confidence, your ability to enjoy success when it finally arrives. The good news is that health doesn't require perfection, it requires consistency. Walk regularly, move your body, eat nourishing foods more often than not, prioritize sleep, drink enough water. Simple habits repeated consistently outperform extreme routines that last only a few weeks. Your body is carrying you through every dream you have. Treat it accordingly. And yet, even with health, success can still feel strangely empty. Which brings us to routine number five: your relationship routine. This may be the most underestimated routine on this list because we often schedule meetings, schedule workouts, schedule deadlines, but we rarely schedule connection. And yet, some of life's greatest joys emerge from meaningful relationships: a conversation with a friend, dinner with family, a message from someone who genuinely cares, a quiet moment with your spouse. The modern world has made communication easier than ever, but meaningful connection often feels harder than ever. Loneliness is increasing despite constant connectivity. Why? Because being connected is not the same as being known. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you had a conversation without checking your phone? When was the last time you asked someone how they were doing and genuinely listened to the answer? Many people spend years chasing success only to discover they neglected the people they wanted to celebrate it with. Relationships don't thrive on grand gestures, they thrive on regular attention. A call, a conversation, a shared meal, a few intentional minutes every day. Success becomes far more meaningful when it's shared. And now we arrive at the final routine, the one that quietly influences every other routine: your night routine. Most people think tomorrow starts when they wake up. In reality, tomorrow starts the night before. How you went your day often determines how you'll begin the next one. Many people carry unfinished stress into bed: unanswered worries, mental clutter, endless scrolling, and then they wonder why they wake up feeling drained. A good night routine creates closure. It tells your mind that the day is complete. Take a few minutes to reflect. What went well today? What did you learn? What deserves gratitude? What needs attention tomorrow? Write it down. Clear your mind. Reduce screen time. Allow yourself to transition from doing into being. These small practices create remarkable calm over time. And perhaps that's what routines truly offer us. Not control, not perfection, but peace. Because at their best, routines remove unnecessary chaos. They create space for what matters. And when you combine these six routines, a morning routine, a learning routine, a work routine, a health routine, a relationship routine, and a night routine, you create a framework for a better life. Not a perfect life, a meaningful one, a substantial one, a life built intentionally rather than accidentally. Remember, transformation rarely arrives through a single dramatic breakthrough. It usually arrives quietly, one day at a time, one choice at a time, one routine at a time. Your life rarely changes in a single dramatic moment. More often, it changes quietly through the routines you choose to repeat when nobody is watching. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to this channel for more thoughtful conversations about personal growth, mindset, and intentional living. And before you go, tell me in the comments which of these six routines need the most attention in your life right now. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep growing with grace.